What led you to get into acting?
Well, I kind of started in a roundabout way. Over like 15 years ago, a friend of ours needed somebody last minute to be in a musical, a community theater musical, and so they asked me to do it, and I was basically just in the chorus, but I really enjoyed it, and I kind of got hooked on theater, so ever since then I've been involved in theater. So done theater for about 15 years at the amateur level, but I've always been interested in film and television, so I just recently started acting in film and television. I went and auditioned for a feature length and happened to make it in, so that's where I am now.
Was there anything about the story in this film that attracted you to it?
I kind of liked that it was a darker film, and what attracted me to it was the character that I wanted to play, which I wanted to play Missy, which wasn't the lead, but that was kind of the character that attracted me to the project the most anyway. I just really liked her story, and even out of the other three characters, she's, you know, probably the one that's featured the least, but her story really, I think, connected with me, and that's what drew me to the project. I really liked her story, and I wanted to portray it.
What do you like about your character?
Well, that's interesting. What do I like about my character? It's hard to say, because she doesn't necessarily do things that are considered good, but I just liked that I think her main goal and desire was love. I think she was really in love with David, and even though she doesn't get to be with him in the way she wanted to be, I really liked that part of her, and trying to portray that she wanted something more serious with him. I don't know if I was very successful about it, but I liked the challenge of trying to portray that there was something deeper there.
What did you not like about the character?
It wasn't necessarily something I didn't like about the character, it was just a challenge for me to portray her, because I'm not like her at all, I don't think. The things that she does are not necessarily things that I would do, so it was a challenge for me. She doesn't dress the way I dress, she doesn't act the way I act, so it was just a challenge to try to be somebody completely different.
Was there anything you learned from the character?
I learned a little bit more, I think, about acting from portraying this character, and how even the characters that you think you have no reason to like or you shouldn't have any sympathy for them, how there always can be something deeper there that really connects with you. So I learned about that, but as far as personally, I don't know if I necessarily learned anything from the character.
Was there anything that you learned from the shooting the film in general?
I learned that, which it's something, you know, I've come to learn after working on the feature length and this one, that you never know what you're going to get with film. Things happen, and you can pretty much always expect long hours or just difficult situations, but I learned that sometimes that can really help you, you know, get into character, but sometimes it can also, like for me personally, sometimes when all that outside stuff and chaos is going on, it's hard for me to block it out and stay focused on my character. So that was definitely a learning process for me, was trying to block out everything else and stay focused on what I needed to do, not bring in anything else from the outside, and just, you know, do what I had to do. So, I mean, it was definitely a good experience in that respect.
Your character spent quite a bit of time in special effects makeup, more specifically bloody. What was that experience like for you?
As the director knows, this was probably my worst day of filming. I wouldn't say ever, because I had some other, but it was not a pleasant experience. I will say that pretty much I will jump at the chance to do special effects or do things that aren't considered normal or, you know, the everyday. I like a challenge and I like things that are different. I like variety. But once I got covered in the blood and it was all sticky and it was everywhere, and especially on my hands, it was terrible because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like feed myself. I couldn't fix my own clothing because it just like stuck to the clothing. I couldn't do anything, so it was a miserable experience. It was, you know, hours and hours that I just sat around in my underwear in fake blood, and I don't know, maybe that helped with the scenes, maybe you could see my misery, I don't know, but you know, it was fun, but at the same time, I don't know if I'd jump at the chance to do it again quite yet.
What was your experiences with your fellow cast members?
Well, I didn't really get to work with anybody except for Eric. I pretty much only ever had scenes with Eric because my character only really interacts with him. I didn't get to have any scenes with Adrian or John, but I did get to see them on set, I think, like one day, but I was busy being miserable in my fake blood, so I didn't necessarily communicate with them very much. But you know, I had a great experience working with Eric. This was the first time I had to do scenes, you know, making out with somebody or that kind of stuff, so that was kind of awkward, but he was really, you know, he was good about trying to be, you know, make you comfortable and just get through the scene and do what we had to do. So I can't say anything bad about any of the actors. No, I had a good time. No, I had, you know, overall, I think the crew was pretty good. I don't know how many of them have worked, you know, on films before, but I think for, if it was their first film, they did a great, you know, a good job, and they did the best that they could in, you know, situations where we were working in hot environments and just not a lot of space to move around. So I don't have anything bad to say about the crew. I think they did the best, you know, that they possibly could. The director as well, he was very good about communicating with me. I tried to talk to him a lot about my character and what he thought of her, and, you know, tried to figure out what she was going to be. So, and he was really good about working with me and giving me his thoughts and letting me bounce ideas off of him, so I can't say anything bad.